You are live, which means I gotta turn the music off. Music on. Because otherwise they will piss and moan that I advertise their music. I don't get it, but whatever. I'm gluing, which you can't see. You know what? I could probably make it so you can see, though, by just putting the legs up. So let's put the legs up. It'll actually probably make it easier for me anyways. Oh, crap. This old one is heavy. Oh, Jesus. Thing weighs a ton. Alright, I'm just going to glue up some crappy old cedar to make stuff out of. Some of it's all cracked. I'm not even going to finish the edges proper because I'm going to do a dual layer. I'm going to glue it together like this, and then I'm going to glue another layer together like this on top of it, making it basically plywood. So it should hold. What do you guys think about that? I should share this on other places. View on YouTube. Viewing. Probably lost the camera there for a minute. I might lose it again. And, oops. Let's go over to Twitter. You know, because it's all on the iPad. Why won't you let me? Why is it got to select that to paste? Thank you. Alright, let's go back to Safari and StreamYards. Alright, hopefully it's a better connection now. So, I'm just going to glue this stuff up. If it gaps out a little bit, oh well. Again, it's going to get double layered, so anything that starts to split will go back together, if that makes sense. And it's all random pines and crap. I should probably cut that right off. I'm over it. It's a little big anyways. Might have to do some cleanup. Might just have to run it through the saw. Some of these aren't as good as I thought they were. I mean, I knew they weren't perfect or anything, but I was hoping they were better. I'm kind of just doing random stuff. Let's put the nice knotty pine right in the middle. I need at least 10 inches wide. Sergio, is it any better? Am I less jumpy? It should be less jumpy because there was water in the Ethernet connector out on the one coming out here. So I have a feeling that's why I was getting jumpy. I need my tape measure. I need a tape measure. Not big enough yet. This one's got a rounded edge, but if I put that on the outside, still not quite big enough. Let's see, what else we got here? Nice piece of, I thought that was cedar, but yep, that's cedar. Let's put that randomly in here. All random, no real plan widths. I just need it to total out at around 10 inches. It's just a hair short. That should be fine. If I get one edge somewhat flush, I can glue it up, clamp it up. I have some more of this fat cedar. It has a rounded edge though. That one does not. This one does. That has a rounded edge. Yeah, that matters. Yeah, it should be. I got a fancy waterproof like barrel connector that like not only connects the two wires, but it's like got all kinds of fancy seals. Took me about 5 minutes to figure out how the thing went together. Kidding, didn't take that long, but it was more complicated than I originally planned it to be. Not that it was actually complicated. All right, I think this will work. So let's glue some crap up. Maybe I'll take this one out and put one of these fat ones in. Still at 10 inches. Am I still at 10 inches? They're all different thicknesses, widths, all kinds of crap. I think I'm over 10 inches now. Yep. I can take something small out. Let's take this one out. That's too small. Okay. Let's take that one out. Put this one back in. Put this one in on the other side because they're both rounded edge. And I'm still over 10 inches. Just under. Which is fine. Actually, I'm going to just use that one, which will put me over 10 inches again. 10 1/4. What will this one be then? Two of them at 10 plus inches. Which I don't see a problem. Because I think that's over 10 inches already. Nope. It is now, I bet. We're close enough. Same. 9 3/4. There we go. So there's my two glue ups. I gotta get me some clamps. And yeah, like I said, this isn't like great cuts or finishes, and I don't care. And the little glue thing is probably dried up. Is there someone else streaming? I didn't even look. I just got on here because I wanted to try it. Carolina's coming down today. Oh, can't see. YouTube might have a hissy fit. Gotta get some clamps. I got more clamps in here. I got a whole box of clamps. Clamps are not something I've got a short supply of. Although you never have enough clamps. So what are you up to there, Sergio? Doing anything fun for the holiday? Anything fun and exciting for the holiday? We should have a roller or something. Roll this crap out. But I don't. Getting old. Gluing up old trim boards that are all wasted. The sad thing is I started throwing this crap out about 6 months ago. And we took the bigger pieces and stuff I thought that was worth anything. And I had a lot of it. And I started tossing it. Like an idiot. because I'd have a lot of this stuff to work with if I'd have saved it all. Mostly the pines. I kept a lot of the smaller cedar, and I got some hardwoods, a little bit of ipe, very little. Matter of fact, I don't even think it's here anymore. Yeah, I gave it away. Just have to go look in the pile. But like I said, this doesn't need to be perfect. And actually, I kind of don't want it to be perfect. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I kind of like the old woodwork look. Before I go any farther, I got a big little chunk of cedar there that's all glued up. And I'm going to put that in wax paper, so it doesn't glue itself to itself to my table. Which I'm actually going to take this little piece of plywood and use my screwed up sign cup. And the wax paper, and let's start putting it together. Oops, can't put that one there. Nope, I can put that one there. And let's put this one here. And let's put another small one in. Then let's put a big one in. And a couple of small ones. And I really want that knot down. Not that it really matters, because I can always flip it over after. And, well, this will be double glue edge. And line up the ends. So one side is somewhat even. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, because it's all going to get cut. It's just to get a blank. Then we use the speedy clamp to get it started. But we don't want to grab the wax paper with it. And let's put it down so I get more boot on the ground. And then we go to proper screw ones, because they're just better in every way. A little more. A little, come on, these things are getting old. This thing trying to arc, it is. Well, we can fix that too. We can. I don't know if this will go big enough. It does not. This will. Let's see. If I go, yeah, I'll go this way with it. Big ass arms on this clamp. Okay, now do what I ask. Basically, I want the frickin' having difficulty here because I'm an idiot. I want the clamp body to be able to be used as a straight edge later. To clamp them all flat. But nobody else here. Build over bot. Yeah, it should be better. As I was saying earlier, it should, in theory, be a lot better. I had a really old um, um, connector coming from the house to the garage internet, and it is not waterproof. And I actually had wrapped it in cellophane to semi-waterproof it. And I have a feeling that was the problem. Is that is not actually a good waterproofing method. And I believe I can. No, that's not straight. But I have some here. That I can use as straight bars. To clamp it straight and flat. And then I can use this much smaller clamp. Go right up to about there. Come on, hands, start working this. These clamps are getting old. They don't move so well anymore. Not that it'll truly flatten them out because all the boards here are different widths. But it should, in theory, help take out any bowing. To some extent. Enough where I can run it through the plane. Which, by the way, you're actually sitting on. Believe it or not. Oh, that ain't right. That clamp is riding off the board. We don't like that. We don't like no clamp riding off the board. And that should help there. Let's do one on the other side. And I need another piece of wax paper. I actually got plywood ones here somewhere, which are better than these. But that's alright. What do I do with the wax paper? Right here. That way my little boards don't glue to the little boards. Bob! Light speed! That didn't work. That'll work. That will work. Okay, here's my shorties. And I got a shorty clamp here somewhere. Let's use these shorties. If they're newer and work a little bit easier. Okay, what do you call that? Oh, the other clamp. That's alright. That'll still work. All it's doing is keeping it somewhat flat so it'll go through the plane easier. Alright, that's sort of glued up. Well, I think I want to replace this with a real clamp because I like it better. Frickin' decal is what's holding this one up. These are some seriously old clamps. They were $9. They're like $29 these days. Tells you how long ago these were bought. One down. Holy crap, that's heavy with all the clamps on it. Let's do another one. Because we need two. Might as well put the wax paper on first, huh? Because I know I want it so it doesn't glue to itself. Mikey! I need to be working installing a router on my CNC. You mean like that? I should be reinstalling the spindle, but if I'm thinking of that, I'm going to fire up that pump and make sure it don't leak. Is it pumping? It is. It's pumping. I got no leaks. But I want to run it for a little while, make sure it doesn't leak. I don't want to see no leakage. Oh, that's not good. But you know what? Again, I don't care. That has a definite round edge. That has a definite round edge. I might have to do some table sawing. Get rid of some round edges. Wow, which one of these is bowed? It's this one. We got some pine in here to go with some cedar. You know what? I can almost do this in like an organized method of some sort. See if I do the pine, cedar, cedar, 2 wide cedars. That leaves me with an extra pine and an extra cedar, but is that 10 inches or close? 9 3/4, 9.5. It's only 8 3/4. I just need this piece. Gosh darn it. Or I could steal one of those on the floor. Or I could use that one. I got one right here. It's very knotty though, which is probably why I didn't grab it. And it's far from, well, it's only the end. Good. I'll be right back. Oh, I got another piece right here too. That is seriously work. What do we got? Two. Not as bad. Not as bad. This one will crack the crap. But we have a very knotty cedar piece. Pretty. Barry! What's up, my man? Which is very warped. Holy crap. Let's set that one aside. Let's put some more random pieces of pine in with the cedar. How's that for an answer? Is that big enough? What do I do with the tape measure? Put it over here. No. It is not big enough. That's not going to work. That's close. That's actually big enough. Looks kind of funky though. Funky monkey. Yeah, I don't care. This one, what I'll do is just edge it right up to there. And I'll actually use this piece of plywood since I'm only doing 2 for the flat edge. And I'm just going to throw that away because that side's got a round cut to it. And add some glue. This glue is getting old, it's thick. Should be thinner than this. Not a lot thinner, but should be thinner. Oh well. We're just playing anyways. Hey Barry, since we got you here and you actually know what the hell the real world is about, is it freaking normal to have to freaking drill out the spindle when it's brand new? From what I understand, those cheap Chinese spindles, the water inlet outlets, the stupid rubber seal they use when they clamp the head cap on, the seal squishes out and plugs the actual inlet. Everyone's like, oh, you just take a drill bit and you throw it in there. Because I hooked that thing up and I couldn't get water to flow through. I'd get pressurized air to go through, but I was losing I was putting in 100 pounds and I was only getting out 20. And everyone's like, oh, just drill it out. You just got you got a seal that swelled up when they clamped it. It's like, what? I'm like, yeah. And I thought they were full of crap, and then 20 people came out and said it. I was like, okay. And I freaking took a drill bit and jammed it in there, and it worked. A whole bunch of crap came out. And some of it, I think, there was crap in there that the swollen seal was holding back anyways. Which I'm not too happy about that either, but that's life. I just find that kind of odd that that's an accepted issue. Everyone's like, oh, that's normal. No, it should not be. I mean, granted, it's a cheap Chinese spindle, but it's not that cheap, for one. I mean, it's not like it was $100 cheapo. It wasn't a $500 spindle, but it was more than $200, and it's just the spindle, which is a lot of money to me, at least. I know it's not probably to some people, but to me it is. Just put that piece anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Seal deformed. That's what they say. When it clamps down, it's an O-ring. When you clamp it down, they swell out. Well, I say sometimes they just over clamp it a little bit, trying to get the seal good, or they use an oversized O-ring or something. I don't freaking know. But yeah, that's a thing, I guess. Because it worked. I got it. It's over there pumping water right now. I did it last night, and it sealed it up. Plus, the nipple's broken. I literally soldered the nipple back together because I don't want to wait for a new one. I mean, I'm going to order a new one, but I want to be able to use it. So I literally soldered the freaking nipple back together, which seems to be working. Surprisingly enough, I did it more as a joke to myself because I was just pissed off, and I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And it took me 4 hours to get it to where I thought it was acceptable. Literally. I spent 4 hours soldering and unsoldering and soldering and resoldering and breaking it apart and resoldering it again. But yeah, I soldered the nipple. It broke right at the, well, just above the body line of the spindle, which is kind of sad. Cheap. Alright, gluey ball of tissues. And this one's gotta go that way. Oh, they're both rounded. You know what? I don't care. This one's gotta go this way, and this away, and this away, and this away, and this away, and this away. And if I sort of line them all up with this end, I can flat clamp it easier than I did the other one. And now I got glue all over my fingers. Yeah, I know you do. Well, I tried. I thought you played with homeowner-y stuff before. I put that the wrong direction. There was glue sticking out. Not no more. I might need more clamps. Well, let's use the squeezy clamp to get it together in the first place. Squeezy clamps are good for initial squeezing, but not good for anything real. And I need more clamps. Well, I really have monster clamps left. Got these mid-size. Ooh, I got a tiny one more. I got a couple of tiny ones for you. Come on. Clamps, 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 more clamps. Must have clamps. Clamp it all together. Fucking decals. Pops never took the decals off. Most of these clamps are Dad's. I went to get rid of some stuff and decided to get rid of my clamps instead of his. Well, I knew that was going to happen. Which is why I was doing this, which I should just do ahead of time. Oh, I got a little clamp right here somewhere. Little baby clamp. Use the plywood and that board. Just give it a little snug. That way I can't do that again. I will clamp this side first now, since that's the side I got it all snugged up. Still bowing it. Well, it's bad, but it's trying. It be trying. Let's see, I got another little baby clamp right here. Baby clamp. Not really sure how I'm going to get this with that point there, but it'll help. It don't need to be perfect anyways. Because it's all going to go through the planer. Clamp it there, and a clamping it here, and a clamping it there, and a clamping it everywhere. I don't know where this clamp came from, but it's kind of an odd one. oozing on a Sunday afternoon, Monday afternoon. It's Monday, not Sunday. And I will put another one here because it look. Yeah, this might be fun to accomplish. You know what? I'll clean the table and everything. I'm not going to be using this table for anything. Yeah, it's trying to roll off. It's just going to roll off because of the table. Okay. New plan. Ignore the bench. Gluing it all up. Igniter won't fire. Ha! You have, it's propane, right? There is a little fire sensory thing that basically shuts off the gas and won't let the igniter ignite. It's in all gas-fired, like, propane heaters, and where's my propane heater? Like in one of these things, that propane heater right there, they have a little, like, safety shut-off. Basically like thermal runaway on the printer. And it won't let anything go if it, basically what it does is when you start it, if it doesn't feel heat within like the first 30 seconds, or a minute, I think it is, it won't let it fire. It's just a little sensor. It's just like a thermocoupler, whatever. They're cheap. They're only like $10. You can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot or hardware stores. But almost any propane fired thing is going to have one of those. And I can almost guarantee you that's your issue, because it won't let you spark. It won't let the gas go. It shuts everything down, and it just wires into the little clicky. Because I'm assuming you have like a gas propane starter, click starter thingy. And if it does, and you're in the U.S., it has one of those safeties on it. Because we used to do that a lot when trying to run heat in reheating houses in the winter and stuff with propane tanks, when they're under construction. And quite often, those little heaters wouldn't fire up because the little thingy wouldn't let it. Put this way. And I can almost guarantee you that's your problem. And you can't bypass them. And it's got to feel heat. There's a way you can make it fire up and check it. If it's not completely broken, you can actually take a lighter to it if you can find it and know where it is. It's usually right around the burner somewhere. You can take a lighter to it and preheat it, and then fire up the grill and see if it itself is busted or if it's not. Sometimes they get bent and they're not close enough to the burner or blah blah blah. But you can't even bypass them the way they're designed. If you try and bypass it, it won't work at all. It's bizarre. Anyway, we are all clamped up with stuff gluing. I don't know if that's going to work there or not, but yeah, we'll find out. We shall find out. It'll be enough. Like I said, I'm going to layer these two on top of you. I'm going to plane them both and then crisscross them. I might even do them at like an angle. That would be kind of cool when you CNC it, because the whole point is one's going to be the cutout and the other's just a backer when it's all said and done. So there's enough material there. Kind of like I did that Wizard's head. $37. It should be like $8 for a pack of 5 of them. Blue tape will work. Blue tape fixes everything. The only thing more fixable than blue tape is duct tape. And yes, I said duck, as in whack, 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 quack, quack. Duct tape. EB Green. If you know what EB Green is, you lived in Connecticut. EB Green is EB's military version of duct tape. It was a very special tape made for use on submarines. They probably have something very similar down in Virginia. Orange duct tape. Did they even make orange duct tape? Yeah, it might be the whole. Actually, there is no real unit other than the clamp. They're usually just a little clamp that sits next to the heater. A lot of people confuse them with the little hooking. What do you call them? Igniters. They look kind of similar. But yeah, they're a safety thing, so you don't run gas and have the thing not lit. Or like a lot of times with the little propane tank units, it'll keep running even though it's not got enough gas coming out to keep the fire lit. It will keep spitting out gas when the fire goes out, even though it's a very small amount. It can be super dangerous. That's why they put those on there. Okay, we got some boards clamped up. So is the internet connection much better? I'm on a green screen? No, it's my garage. It's a very small section of my garage. This garage is my pride and joy. I built this thing 25 years ago, and I never quite finished it, and it's mine. It's mine. And I'm going to get screwed if we sell the house, because I never kept any receipts. So if I sell the house, Mom gets it. She gets all the money from it. Even though I got, I don't know, probably 70 grand in this frickin' garage. All the crap I did. Everything's run. Power's run. Frickin' heat's in. It's not hooked up, but you can see it's all got radiant heat tubes in the floors. All upstairs. The whole upstairs is radiant heated. Not that it's radiant heated, because it's not. Because there's no furnace hooked up. But the pipes are all run, which is the hard part. And I ran those during a snowstorm in the middle of the winter. And if you ever ran like PEX pipes when it's super cold, you know what kind of nightmare I was having. Because it sucked. I was literally, that's what I originally got the first one of those heaters for. I was holding the frickin' PEX over the heater to warm it up so I could flex it to make the corners. That was not a good day. Actually, it was a whole weekend. It's like Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday. I spent running all of these lines. The only thing I didn't do was put it in the slab because I just didn't have the money. Because actually my neighbor poured the slab for me. I was out on Long Island and he did it. I came home Friday and he was out here swirling it. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I was doing mine. I just ordered the extra for yours. Okay. Thanks, man. Looks like Lower resolution for increased frame rate. Well, whatever. The resolution isn't really all that important out here in the garage. You don't need to see my ugly ass or my piles of crap. And it's pretty disorganized, even for me. I usually keep the garage very neat and clean. And it's not. It's very dirty. And my tires are flat on my bicycle, and it stopped raining. Let's spin you around and you can look outside. See my awesome antique Hitachi saw, which I'm going to put away. Go right there. That can go right there. Get unplugged. And this can get balled up and stuffed in the tube. Best place to put the cord on one of these. These are TPU 3D printed tires. Because the rubber ones let go. And they've been on there a long time. Years. 3-4 years. That was one of the first things I printed. And it was TPU. One of the first things I printed with the Max Micron, I should say. Not one of the first things I printed. Alright, that's inside. Go back to the garage. The wood's all being clampity clamped and gluey glued. And tomorrow it'll get planety planed. Matter of fact, thinking of the planety plane. Can I fit these? Nope, that won't fit in there. I don't want it out of the way. Close my glue. I just got this little bottle. I've always wanted one of these stupid glue bottles. Never had it. I was just, glued right out of the bottle it comes in. This is very nice, I will say. Okay, how am I going to set this thing? I guess it's going to stay where it was, wherever that was. Because I got no other place to put it. And the box with clamps out of the way. And I gotta get my garbage can. And not drop the clamp. Put the clamps away. Must put the clamps away. I got lots of clamps. Never enough though. See all my clamps? All the clamps on all the boards. And there's more on that one there. And then I got a buttload more over here. And they're all stacked up. Whoops. Did I go away? I probably did. But I got more clamps here, more clamps there, more clamps up there, and more clamps over there. And I got cabinetry clamps. These things are actually really nice. If you do a lot of cabinetry, they're awesome. They're face frame clamps. They're awesome. I like clamps. Clamps are good. I'm a clampy kind of guy. Viking! Just in time for me to probably kill it. So has the stream been reasonably consistent? Not all like choppy, freaking max headroomy, like it has been lately? I think it was that connector. I really, really do. Now I got a fancy waterproof connector on there. It's all waterproofy. I gotta clean all them wires up. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe this afternoon. The rain finally stopped. It's actually getting kind of nice out. It's still cool, but it's not cold. Got some boards gluing up for CNCing tomorrow. That thing's running water. Let's see if it's leaking. Nothing's leaking. That is super sweet. Hopefully it's not leaking into the electronics. That would really suck. Did I find water? Or is it just my cold and clammy hands? There's no water anywhere. Not leaking. I like that. Not leaking. Yay. Not leaking. Yes, I took this drill bit and jammed it into that outlet and that spindle to clear the line. And it is now pumping water. Isn't that an awesome thing? Put tools away. The next item up for grabs is making this. Because I actually kind of like this thing. I didn't like it at first. But after using it a while, this is actually kind of nice. I don't know where the dust head is, but I think I can knock this out big enough to fit the spindle. And I can actually go back and forth because then I can just 3D print an adapter. So if I want to put it on back on the DeWalt, I always can. Because it actually works really well. And my little 3D printed adapter to go to the central vac, because I'm using a central vac. Eventually I will probably buy one of those big blower vacs. Shane! What did I do to affiliate a stream? I'm testing more than anything else there, Kit. I put a new connector in the Ethernet. My Ethernet cable comes out of the house and has a joint at the garage. I ran Ethernet out of the garage when I built the garage. It's all underground going to the house, but I just ran a line out and didn't do anything with it. It sat for 20 years. My brother came and hooked it up, but it wasn't long enough to run it all the way back up. And I wasn't going to re-pull a new line for, 300 feet or 150 feet or whatever it is, all through all the piping and everything. So we put a joint in it, and I just put a regular cheap old connector, Cat 6, whatever, Cat 5, Cat 6, little, joint. You plug the two ends in, and boom, you're done. Well, I think it got wet, which is why my internet was fading in and out. And it was an old, crappy, dusty, nasty, like dry-rotted connector in the first place. It was ancient. So I went and bought a waterproof one, weatherproof one, and put it on this morning and checked it, and it definitely improved. I went from, I think I had about 130, 140 up or down, and about 4 up, and I'm right around 6 up now, and like 210, 220 down on this modem in the garage. So it definitely helped one way or another. The up still isn't great. It's only like 5.5 or 6, but still way better than I think I was getting like 375 to 4 megabits per second up. So there you have it. That's why I did it. And I'm about done with it. I think I'm going to kill it. Might go inside and start streaming. It is a holiday. Everybody should be home. And the water line is still running. Good thing is I can barely hear it. The bad thing is I can barely hear it, and I can see myself leaving it running all the time. And I got some boards gluing up, so I can plane them out tomorrow and glue them together tomorrow and maybe Wednesday cut something out of them. Maybe. I have a nice little piece of cedar right here that I glued together before. It's all plain. It's got some bad ends in it. You can like see through it, but that adds character. And again, if I glue something to it, even if I put a plywood backer on it and just cut the cedar face, again, who gives a crap? It's all for experimentation at the moment. I have some half-inch plywood over there. It's all screwed up. So if I faced it with the cedar on one side, it's kind of a small piece, but we like using the scraps. Scraps are good. And if you like woodworking at all, I'm addicted to the dude now. He's on YouTube. Pask, P-A-S-K, I think. He's an Australian guy. But just look up Scrap Wood Challenge. He literally takes like firewood and cleans it up and makes like freaking planes and hammers and, just all kinds of like really cool stuff. I mean, he does it all by hand. He don't have a CNC. I mean, he's got some nice tools. He's got saws and lathes, and he's got a good lathe. But most of what he does is hand carving and gluing it together. Running it through the saw and gluing it together. That's about all he does. He's awesome. He's got me totally. I'm addicted to him. I've been watching like all his been doing it for 3 or 4 years. I've been watching some of his old stuff. It's kind of funny watching him progress. With his quality of YouTube and Stop Shop, that table saw that like if you touch it, it's got the electrical short. So if you touch it, if it feels skin on the blade, it auto shuts off. They sent him a table saw that's got like every accessory, all the sleds and all. So last couple of shows he's been using that, and I love that thing. That is a wicked nice table saw. I don't really care about the whole auto stop because I'm not dumb enough to stick my finger in a saw blade yet. I haven't yet. I will someday just because I said I haven't done it. But, yeah, that saw is really nice. I mean, that's just a good saw, period. Even if it didn't have the electric stop, just the build of the actual saw is really, really nice. And I wonder if they came and got garbage today. Because I went on our local, we have town pickup garbage. It's one of the reasons our taxes are so high, which I'm okay with because I'd rather pay it in taxes and get our garbage picked up than have to worry about going to the garbage truck and giving them $20 every time I take a load of garbage, and then I got to take it out there and blah, blah, blah. And we actually don't. It's not that expensive. Their holiday list didn't show today as off, which I find really odd. Because they have like a list of what days what street you are and what days you get picked up. And I went and looked at the holiday list, and basically this company, because we just got a new company that took it over, lowered the price, lowered the price quite a bit, got all new like recycling set up and saved a bunch of money. And anyway, excuse me, they're only taking Thanksgiving and Christmas off from their holiday list. Pretty much it. So I put the garbage out last night. I don't know if they picked it up or not. It was picked up today? I find that weird. Because the old guy, who I used to go to school with, he's retired now, but he used to give the guys off. It's funny because he would work on some of the holidays because he'd do a lot of the businesses himself on the holidays, knowing that, it's a business and they're going to have extra garbage, so he'd do all their dumpsters. But the regular garbage pickup days, he'd give the guys off Easter, the day after Easter, the Monday after Easter, Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, one in the fall, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And this new company, they're just showing Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're not even showing New Year's. They're just showing Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's it. Those are the only 2 days they got off. That would kind of suck. Although I guess he pays them a little better. He actually made a contract with our recycling. Our old recycling, we used to have to separate our glass from our metal, from our plastic, and put them all out in separate bins. This guy got a contract with a recycler up in Essex and said, it's cheaper and easier if we just throw it all together. I got one truck. It costs a little more at the recycler. It actually doesn't cost. We get paid to recycle. The recycler pays us per pound for our recyclables. He says, we're getting a little less, but I'm using less gas and less trucks and less. So it's actually saving the town like $200,000 a year in gas and trucks and man hours for the pickup. And now it's all automated, where if it was a little bin, the guy had to get out and actually pick it up. Now it's just in the regular auto pickup garbage bins. So he saved us like $250,000 a year in recycling, which is nice. And we just it's even easier. You just throw everything in there and the recycling company sorts it. We don't have to sort it no more. No more separation of glass or plastic or cans or metal, or just throw it all in one can. Boom, done. Anything that's recyclable. And they're not even don't put this in there, don't put that. They're like, if you even question it, if you think it's recyclable, throw it in there. Let us deal with it. We'd rather recycle it if it's possible. So we recycle everything now. And I guess they're actually recycling. They just did a report. They're actually recycling like 70% of all the plastics, which is like unheard of in the country. People don't realize most of the recycled plastic, you throw it in your plastic bin. A lot of it never gets recycled. It still ends up in a landfill. Where they're like, we're being meticulous and we want to recycle it. And the recycler in Essex is, I think they said about 75% of the weight that they get in on plastic is actually getting recycled. Which is good. I'm like, I like recycling. I think it's a good idea. I'm not like a super tree hugger, but I'm also not a, I'm a reality person. Like global warming or climate change, they're calling it now, because people don't understand that the globe warms, but you may be actually getting colder. So now they had to change it to global climate change. But anyway, it's real. There's no question about it. It's obvious. I'm going to trust the scientists over a couple of politicians any day of the week. But, yeah, I think it's a good idea. Anyway, I'm going to kill this stream, I think. Seems like I'm losing everybody anyways, babbling on. I'm all done gluing. Think I'm going to go inside, shut that spindle off. It seems to be working, correct? The stream has been pretty steady, not crappy, no breakups, no swoopies. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the company. I don't have anything of theirs, Kit. I agree with you. I think you said it like 5 minutes ago, but well, it's happening. I mean, it's coming. Yeah, the SawStop is the company I'm not a big fan of. That particular their table saw with the full setup, their top of the line table saw. There's just nothing like it. It is just a really, really, really nice table saw. It's better than most like panel saws in like massive shops. The thing is just super sweet. I got to play with one once. Some rich guy was working at his house, and he bought one. I don't know why he bought it. He never uses it. I used it more than I think he ever did. It is freaking unreal, smooth and sweet. I mean, the thing's like close to $10,000. I think he paid for it. It's ridiculous. But anyway, killing it. See ya.